Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahushai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahushai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kodash, the blindness of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, true well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the pre-Shaman, I'm going to be responding to a comment that was left on the video entitled Damn Homie. And the comment comes from the YouTube page Vessel. And the brother says, Shalom, brother. Listening to your epistle, I'm reaching out, bro. I'm alone down here in the Virgin Islands. Solo camp, maybe 1.5 years. It ain't easy. Scared of falling out more than not lately. I have faith, I have fear. But no one knows if we are that number. How can I be more connected to the brotherhood? I would like that. Lord willing, Vessel. Well, brother, you connected now. You watching the videos. You leaving comments on the comment boards. So that's a good step. You know, brothers could reply. You said you're out there in the Virgin Islands 1.5 years. Now, in the lesson that you were watching, I had mentioned the elder Manata Zakba out there in South Carolina. And during the time when I was speaking about 2011, 2012, when Malak Shah was on fire, the elder out there was primarily by himself. He was by himself for a number of years. And that is your cross. That is your test of faith. And what I want to do is I want to let you know, brother, that we're going to go into some scriptures to let you know that this particular situation you're in, not only in this time are you not alone, but all throughout history, you had certain scenarios where you had prophets that were just like you. Whether it be an island, a city, a county, a state, a country, where it was just maybe by yourself or a very small few. This is the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 1. Woe is me, for I am as when they have gathered the summer fruits, as the grape gleanings of the vintage. Right? So when we go into the law, right, you gather your first fruits of grapes, and whatever is left, you give to the poor. And you're not supposed to take all your grapes. You're only supposed to leave a small few. So Micah was like that. He was that very small number, just like yourself, bro. You're designed to be around, like in a physical sense at least, more men like yourself, right? That's teaching the word. And not only that, teaching the word the right way, because you could have a guy out there calling himself an Israelite, and he's following Gehenna or the IUIC, and it's like, damn, you know? It says, there is no cluster to eat. My soul desired the first ripe fruit. So when he's not talking about actual grapes. He's talking about men of the Lord. Let's get the precept. This is Hosea chapter 9, verse 10. I found Israel like grapes in the wilderness. I saw your fathers as the first fruits in the fig tree, as their first time, but they went to Baal Peor and separated themselves onto that shame, that their abominations were according as they loved. So you're coming in the stead of Micah. You're also coming in the stead of Ezra's, because he was likened onto that when he went fasting, and then the people was looking all over for him, because it was like, yo, you're the only prophet. You're like the grape gleaned. You like the grape gleaned, right? And there's gonna come a time when we're all gonna be like that, brother. We're gonna be scattered. You know, when this man rolls down heavy, and Amos 8:11 kicks in, people are gonna be designing every single brother that has this word, and that's just prophecy. So the Most High can increase you. You never know. You know, you could be a small camp now. You could be a massive camp overnight. The Most High works in mysterious ways. Or you could be out there, bro, till the end by yourself. So it is a test of faith. And the most I'll say is just keep watching videos and connect with brothers in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, again, stay in contact with the YouTube, because as it stands, you know, we can't just somebody put on a garment, give them their number and all that. We can't really do things like that. Brothers have to prove themselves. So you can just stay in contact with brothers on the comment boards, keep watching the videos. That's really, that's what I could say for now. The spirit leads to more, the spirit leads to more. So you're coming in instead of Micah, you're coming in instead of Ezra's. A lot of prophets is out there dolo. Another precept for the grapes is Isaiah 5:7. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel. Right? So the vineyard is where you grow your grapes. The scriptures also tell you when just like when you had to plant vineyards, you had to take out the stones, huge stones, and those stones being the heathens, because the heathens were removed out of the land of Israel, and the precepts in the book of Psalms. Let me see if I could find that for you. Let me see if I could find that, because it's a bit more up. It says, so will I sing to my beloved a psalm touching the vineyard, fences gathered thereof. Trying to look about the stone parts. So lucky, bear with me. See, I didn't have it on my list of scriptures. I will sing. Oh, he has gathered out the stones. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the commentary. I'm going to go to the TSK. Gathered out the stones. Let me see what Gil's saying. Maybe Gil got it. I believe it was in the 80s. Here it is. Now the stones, to prove that the stones were them heathens. This is Psalms 80:8. Thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt. Thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it. Right. So the same way you had to cast out huge fucking stones, man, to plant vineyards. The precious plant, the precious vine that was taken out of Egypt was Israel and planted in the land of Jerusalem. And the stones that were removed were the heathens. Right. So you can see that what Israel is likened onto them grapes, man. And the first fruits is likened onto the elect, the first fruits. That's what we call the first fruits, right? Lord willing, we have that number. And that's what the elder Micah was desiring, man. But he goes on to say this. He says, the good man is perished out of the earth, and there's none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net. You know who would also devour the grapes, man? Foxes. Right? Who are the modern day foxes that devour the grapes? Some false prophets. Because you could have a good man trying to learn this thing, but guess what? You have false doctrines out there that's steeping up all the grapes. So it's hard, and look, I know, bro, I'm not going to say it's an easy thing. Yeah, I could say, look, gird up your loins like a man, right? But every brother's different. You came on the common board sincere, like, look, man, that's a fearful thing to be out there dolo. Because them demons could attack you and plague your mind. But like I said, stick on the YouTube, stick on the common boards, and keep doing them lessons. You can find brothers out there in the islands too. Just keep doing them lessons. Just keep doing them lessons. And then eventually you could encourage other brothers out there, that see your show and say, oh, you in the Virgin Islands, this, that, and the fourth. And just look, man, brothers, again, doing this thing with a very small number for a very long time. And that's what really makes this thing precious. It says that they may do evil with both hands earnestly. The prince asks, and the judge asks for reward, and the great man, he uttereth his mischievous desires, so they wrap it up. It's easy to find mischievous men. It's easy to find wicked men, you know. The Catholic Church, the Christian Church spread all throughout the world. You know, doing misleading things and telling lies. But to find an upright Hebrew Israelite prophet, that's few and far between, man. So consider yourself blessed. You know, Scripture says a mountain on a hill can be hid. So eventually, you know, you keep your diligence, the fruit could flourish, man. This is Matthew 9:37. It says, Then saith he unto his disciples, The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. So you see, ain't nothing really changed. There's always going to be a few amount of laborers, man. And what are we laboring? We're laboring and doing this work. Let's get the precept. Look at the precept. 1 Corinthians 3:9. For we are laborers together with the Most High. You are the Most High's husbandry. Now, husbandry or husband is a planter of seeds. What's the seed that we're planting? Luke 8:11, the word of the Most High. And Matthew 13 tells us we're planting into the world. And Hosea goes on to tell us to break up fallow grounds, right? The fallow grounds being the minds of Israelites. Hard-headed Israelites, you know, soft ground. There's different types of ground to plant seeds. So it's a labor. You know, when you're breaking up that ground to plant the seed, man, you have to hit it repeatedly. So this thing gets repetitious. But you have to keep putting together these lessons, warning the people, and telling them the gospel. That's the obligation. It says, ye are God's building. So we're the Most High's building, man. And the scriptures tell us in the book of Ecclesiastes, I believe the 10th chapter and the 18th verse, it says, through much slothfulness, the house decayeth and falleth through. You know, so if you don't take care of a building, it's just going to break down and fall down. It's the same thing with ourselves. See if they have it. Let's see if they have that precept. Ecclesiastes 10. Gil got it. Let's see if Gil got it. Well, I'll go fetch it myself. I'll go fetch it myself. All willing. So Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter. Let's try 18. I believe it's 18. Yep. Ecclesiastes 10 and 18. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of hands the house droppeth through. So if you slowly give up and start to wither, the house is going to break down till it just falls apart. So somebody once said, why is a building called a building if it's already built, right? Nobody says, look at that built. Even though the building is done, it's constantly be calling a building. Why? Because you have to constantly keep building upon it. You have to constantly maintain it. And then we're like the same way, constantly being maintained through our trials and fuck-ups, and, you know, until the Lord come back, that's when we're going to fully be built. Soon as the book of 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, and get them new bodies, you know, Hebrews 8 and 8, get that heart, flesh, new covenant. Until then, we just have to labor and take care of this temple. We already know how that's done. All right. So going back in Matthew's now, it says, verse 38, pray ye therefore the Lord of harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. So you could pray, brother. You know, keep being diligent, and every day just pray for more faith and pray that, hey, Lord, if that's your desire, just like Micah prayed to see more sincere fruits, you do the same, bro. And this goes for you and everyone like you, again, in your separate county, country, or wherever you're at. Hey, man, there's certain brothers that's watching, and they're in places where they can teach. They cannot, literally, like they might be put to death. You know, you can't teach this word in Iraq or some type of place where, there's extremists out there where you could get killed, like the old school days. We're not going to advise anybody to do that, you know, put your life at jeopardy like that, you know. So, it's different scenarios. Or you might have a brother that he's dolo out and there's nobody else teaching, and he has to start a church on his own in whatever respective country. He has to pick up that mantle, put on that mantle, and go out there. All right. I know the bulk of the prophets is in the United States, and then when you go to the United States, you have places like New York, LA, Chicago. You know, the bigger major cities have, you know, big camps. But then smaller states may have smaller camps. It's however the Lord have it done. You know, just be thankful that you have the truth, man, and you teaching the word of the Heavenly Father. So I hope this encourage brothers that's out there alone. You know, may the Most High give you increase, man, and have you maintain the faith. If you're allowed us to teach out there alone till the Lord comes back, then that's a lot. You know, so everybody got their own cross. So I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, that belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone with true well. And salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in that most truth and sincerity. Shalom.